Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for joining today's Srimad Bhagavatam session. We will start with the Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Vallabha Girivaradhari Yamuna Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Madhava Kunja Bihari Yashodanandana Braja Yamuna Tiravana Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yamuna Tiravana Jaya Rama Madhava Radha Madhava Radha Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Radha Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Radha Gopi Jana Radha Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Vrindavan Dham Vrindavan Dham Vrindavan Dham Jaya Vrindavan Dham Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai. Hare Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining today. Fourth chapter, 16th verse number 6. 4:16:6. So let's start. 4:16:6. Was वसुकाल उपादते काले चायं विमुञ्चति काले चायं विमुञ्चति सम सर्वेषु भूतेषु समः सर्वेषु समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु प्रतपन् सूर्यवद्विभुः प्रतपन् सूर्यवद्विभुः once again वसुकाल उपादते प्रतपन् सूर्यवद्विभुः. Do you want to वसुकाल उपादत्ते काले चायं विमुञ्चति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु प्रतपन् सूर्यवद्विभुः. Synonyms: Vasu, riches; Kale, in due course of time; Upadatte, exactly, sorry, also; Ayam, this king Prithu; Vimunchati, returns; Sama, equal; Sarveshu, to all; Bhuteshu, living entities; Pratapan, shining; Suryavat, like the sun god; Vibhu, powerful. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: This King Prithu will be as powerful as the sun god, and just as the sun god equally distributes his sunshine to everyone, King Prithu will distribute his equally. Similarly, just as the sun evaporates water from evaporate waters for 8 months, and during the rainy season returns it profusely, this king will also exact taxes from the citizens and return these monies in time of need. The process of tax exaction is very nicely explained in this verse. Tax exaction is not meant for the sense gratification, so-called administrative heads of need during emergencies such as famine or floods. Tax revenues should never be distributed amongst governments, governmental servants in the form of high salaries and various other allowances. In Kali Yuga, however, the position of citizens is very horrible because taxes are exacted in so many forms and are spent for the personal comforts of the administrators. The example of the sun in this verse is very appropriate. The sun is many millions of miles away from the earth, and although the sun does not actually touch the earth, it manages to distribute land, extracting water from the ocean and seas, and it also manages to make the land fertile by distributing water during the rainy season. As an ideal king, King Pruthu would execute all this business in the village and state as expertly as the sun. Once again, the translation: the King Pruthu will be as powerful as the sun god, and just as the sun god equally distribute his sunshine to everybody, King Pruthu will distribute his mercy equally. Similarly, just as the sun god evaporates water for 8 months and during the rainy season returns it profusely, this king will also exact taxes from the citizen and return these monies in time of need. Will recite ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो परमाधीश। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining today's, all of you present online and in person. And also, I seek blessings from my Siksha Gurus and my spiritual masters, so that by their mercy and by the mercy of this garland of Radharani, I'll able to speak something, even though I don't have any any kind of realization. Hare Krishna. So today's verse reminded me of the autumn season in Vrindavan. In that autumn season in Vrindavan, Srila Prabhupada, in his Light of Bhagavatam, reading it some days ago, and in that Srila Prabhupada speaks exactly about the sun god. So I'll just, I had have that book and I want to just repeat it. Only it will take just 2 minutes. The second verse of the Light of Bhagavatam. In that Srila Prabhupada said, first of all, what is this book? Light of the Bhagavata. This book was written by Srila Prabhupada when he got an opportunity to preach in Japan before even coming to US. He got an opportunity to exhibit in that interfaith conference. So he got a ticket, he got everything for that conference, but he did not get a ticket to go to Japan. He got visa also, but he was not having ticket to go to Japan. And he had money, and he had 4 months to, I think he got this offer to come to Japan and preach his message in November or December. I forgot which year, but and the conference was in summer, in I think in May or June. And Srila Prabhupada had 4 months to collect funds for his ticket. Everything was taken care. His stay, his food, his everything was taken care. Only thing was ticket. And this Japanese people said that they cannot give him ticket. Ticket he needs to arrange himself. And he tried for the ticket. He couldn't get the ticket. And and he came there at, at the dock station only to see that boat is going to Japan. The last boat which he had to take has went to left and he couldn't carry that boat. But he prepared something for this conference. He wanted to uh, share this message of Krishna according to the audience, and the audience in Japan are much more affected. They like seasons, they like beauty of nature so much. So that is why Srila Prabhupada chose this in light of Bhagavata, this topic of autumn season, which is described in Canto 10th Bhagavatam, how autumn season is. So he used the topic, there is a rainy season and so many before spring. So there is a after spring season there is a rainy season, and then there is an autumn season. So Srila Prabhupada is starting from how that sun is drinking away all the water from the earth, and that is what here sun is taking away all the water, evaporates water for 8 months, and during rainy season returns it profusely. So Srila Prabhupada wrote it very nicely in this. So I'll just take 5 minutes to just read that. So the scorching heat of the sun evaporates water, river, lakes, and reservoir, and there is little water anywhere. The people become thirsty and always look overhead for rain, but in despair. Yet just at the right moment, torrents of rain begins to fall everywhere in the land, even on the hard stones, and the land becomes overflooded. In that, this is one of the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Under that Srila Prabhupada is writing. I don't want to read all that. But the point Srila Prabhupada is explaining is the taxes are collected by the government, and the taxes, if the government is for the welfare, is looking for the welfare of citizen, then they will use it very nicely. They'll distribute it equally. But currently the government is it's not Krishna conscious. It is corrupt. And why this is happening? Because of the people who are choosing that government is corrupt. So Srila Prabhupada is not blaming the government. Srila Prabhupada is blaming his citizens, the people who are choosing that government are themselves not honest. And for the sake of their sense gratification, they choose some some person who will help them to enjoy their senses, not who will help them to go towards Krishna. That is the reason in today's world, when people are saying that government is eating up tax, government is not giving us what we give, what we want. So Srila Prabhupada is saying that it's our fault. In previous times, like in Prithu Maharaj time and in ancient times, and even not only in ancient time, even in entire 14 planetary system, the government is selected by Lord. Krishna appoints the king of heaven. Krishna appoints king of Siddhaloka. Krishna appoints king of entire this one universe, Brahma. But here, when we started appointing ourselves, we ourselves are in ignorance. How we will appoint a government, a king like Prithu Maharaj, a king like Yudhishthir Maharaj, a king like Parikshit Maharaj? We don't know what is, we cannot even see the things as it is in the future. Here Prithu Maharaj was appointed by the Brahmanas, and everywhere the Brahmanas who are Krishna conscious appoints the government. Now because we want to enjoy senses, we are choosing that leader who tells us that if you choose me, the liquor price will be reduced. If you choose me, then you will get free movie tickets. If you choose me, you will get a free chicken meal or whatever. They are kind of government. They are not at all willing for their welfare. They are not at all thinking of their welfare because they don't know what is their welfare. Their knowledge is blinded by that sense gratification. In third chapter 3.16, I'll not read the verse but I'll read the translation. What Krishna says: My dear Arjuna, one who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice, thus established by the Vedas, certainly leads a life full of sin. And the next line is punchline. Living only for the satisfaction of the senses, such a person lives in vain. Krishna is saying to Arjuna that first of all, if we don't follow this sacrifice established by Vedas, and what is sacrifice established by the scriptures in Kali Yuga? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Sankirtan. This is for Kali Yuga. And Prabhupada, everywhere in so many lectures and in so many places, he says that simply chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and you be happy. So Prabhupada used Krishna's word only. Krishna here very mercifully, being so much compassionate on living entities, he is saying, just follow the cycle of sacrifice and you will be happy. Just chant and be happy. Krishna is saying that only, just chant and be happy. When Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, when we see each and every words of Bhagavad Gita which Krishna spoke, we can understand how much Krishna is compassionate towards all the living entities. We can see the mercy of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. We can see the mercy of Krishna's compassion towards living entities in the words of Bhagavad Gita, because each and every place Krishna used Arjuna, and each and every verse, each and every line Krishna is speaking, he's thinking about how a living entity can break the cycle of birth and death and go to Godhead. And he's thinking how a living entity can, as easy as possible, can attain Krishna. He's not making things very difficult. Krishna is making things very easy. Krishna is saying you don't have to do Ashtanga Yoga, you don't have to do follow Jnana Yoga, you don't have to even do Karma Yoga where you have to offer something to Krishna. You just have to do Bhakti Yoga where Krishna is very pleased and fruit. And Krishna is very pleased even if you cannot offer any of these four, just sit and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Krishna is very pleased. How much calories we burn by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, how much hard work we did by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It's just we are sitting and chanting, even though our mind, it is very difficult to control our mind, even though mind is traveling everywhere. But Srila Prabhupada said simply chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Everything will come later. You just need to start and Krishna will take care. So, if we want sense gratification, then our life is going to be in vain. And that is why when people complain, this government is not good, that government is not good, this is good, that is not. So, Prabhupada gave one answer to this complaints that donkeys will go and asses will come. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, actually, not Prabhupada, that donkeys will go and asses will come. What will happen? Everyone, because you don't have knowledge, you are selecting based on your ignorance. The person who is coming, who will become the leader, is also ignorant only. Wherever in the scriptures we have seen that the leader was chosen by Brahmanas, who are in the mode of goodness, not in the mode of ignorance. So Brahmanas are chosen, Brahmanas chose Kshatriyas based on their perfect knowledge from Shastras. Even in this, when Vena was there, Brahmanas were hesitant to choose Vena, that they knew that he is not at all Krishna conscious, and if he comes, then he will make everybody suffer. But then still they choose Vena, and then what happened? Result, Vena created so much chaos. Or no, not even one citizen was happy except himself. Except Vena, nobody else was happy, and everybody were suffering. So in the end, Brahmana were so much angry. Who is Brahmana? Who is very peaceful? But even those Brahmanas became angry. Why they became angry? Not because of their selfish desire. They became angry in compassion of on other living entities, that everybody will go to hell if Vena starts ruling. So that is the reason they came. They tried to explain. Vena did not understood. They killed Vena, and then after some time, they used Vena body to to uh, to call, so that to churn the body, and then after the body was churned, Prithu Maharaj came. Now when Prithu Maharaj came, now this people, the writers, they are the Magdas and the Varnis and Sutas. Sorry, Prithumara by his qualities, and they are not just praising from their own whimsy. They are praising under the instruction of Brahmanas, and the whatever they are praising is completely authentic, agreed. Whatever these reciters or the prayers were praying, and they're here. Then they are praising that Vena is King Prithu Maharaj is as equal to a sun god. Who is sun god? Sun god is a king of the solar system. Why he is considered as king? And sun god got the knowledge from Krishna. When in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says 12 million or 120 million some time ago, years ago, Krishna spoke this Bhagavad Gita to Sun God, and that is the reason Sun God, with his perfect knowledge, he can distribute mercy to everybody equally. So, so the people need to fault finding is very easy. We can find fault in government, we can find fault in anybody else except ourselves. We can do that, but it will not change anything. It's very easy to find faults, but basically we need to change. So Prabhupada actually gave best way to live in this situation. Actually, from 2 3 days, when I'm hearing the lectures of Prabhupada, everywhere Prabhupada is using this, especially the arrival addresses. In most of the arrival addresses where Prabhupada speaks, he specifically speaks about the leaders of that area, and he speaks that even though leaders are corrupt, still you have this association, you have this temple, you just yeah, he said 6 things. You just follow that 6 things. I wrote somewhere, but my book. Prabhuji, can you give me? I have in the book. I have wrote something. Which yeah, yes. Yeah. So Prabhupada said that wherever he went. He said that the situation is same, but you need to follow these 6 things. So if you follow these 6 things, then you will not be affected by the present government. What are those 6 things? Prabhupada, from Nectar of Devotion only he quoted, but I did not wanted to speculate, so I want to read as it is. 6 things. Enthusiasm. With full enthusiasm, you should continue your devotional service. You should continue to serve the deed. You should continue your service in the temple. Determination with full conviction. You should have full conviction that whatever you are doing, this Krishna consciousness is the only hope in this time. Government is not going to give you anything. Government can only give you troubles. Government can only lead you to hell if that government is not Krishna conscious government. But in that situation, you should have full conviction that following this Krishna consciousness is the only hope, and follow rules and regulations perfectly without deviating from it. No diplomatic, we should not be diplomatic, we should not be duplicitous, we should be as it is. And then dealing should be straightforward. We should have dealings with devotees very straightforward. We should not speak something, and we should not do something, or we should not think, or association of devotees is the essence. And then patience. So he said these 6 to 7 things. If you follow these things, then you will able to continue in Krishna consciousness even in these times. So Prabhupada is speaking based on the situation of the current leader, and he spoke this arrival lecture was spoken in 1970. So in 1970 also the leaders were not as were same as now. So Prabhupada is speaking that just follow these things and you will be saved. And here it is very difficult to be equal. What do we mean by being equal? Bhagavad Gita verse 5.18. Everybody know that Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmani Gavi Hastini Sunni Chaiva Chapake Cha Pandita Samadarshina. Then the next verse 5.19, that I don't know the verse but I can read the translation. Those equanimity have already conquered the conditions of birth and death. They are flawless like Brahman, and thus they are already situated in Brahman. So in the purport Prabhupada said equanimity of mind is is the sign of self-realization. So Prithu Maharaj is, we all know that he is in his Satyavesh avatar of Krishna, and he's showing with the example that we should not, we should, especially the leaders, should be not selfish for their own sense gratification, which might not be possible in this yuga. But still he's showing that if a person is Krishna conscious, then only that person can have equal vision on everybody. Otherwise, there is no way that you can see a cow as a part and parcel of Krishna, and a human also as a part and parcel of Krishna. You cannot see anybody, you cannot see an enemy as part and parcel of Krishna. And you might not even see a friend as part and parcel of Krishna. You might not even see a friend as, then who those who are serving your senses become your dearmost, and those who are not serving your senses but who are your well-wishers, still they will not become that much dear to you. Similar thing happened in in this pastime of in Pandavas, like Dhritarashtra. Divyatir Prabhu was speaking about it, and even I was meditating that Dhritarashtra couldn't think Vidura as his friend, and Dhritarashtra was thinking Duryodhan as his well-wisher. But it was completely opposite, because why Dhritarashtra was attached to Duryodhan, but Dhritarashtra wanted to enjoy the kingdom, because it was not just attachment to Duryodhan only. Dhritarashtra was like that, but Dhritarashtra also wanted to enjoy himself. How can we say it? When Pandavas killed Kauravas, all the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra, still Dhritarashtra was not at all after some time, when Krishna solaced everybody, even Dhritarashtra got solaced when they all went to Ganga for doing Shraddha for everybody. There Krishna solaced Dhritarashtra and everybody. So he also got solaced. And after that, he was staying in the same home of those people who killed his children, and he was enjoying the comforts of that kingdom. So that shows that Dhritarashtra's attachment to Duryodhan was one thing, but still he was attached for enjoying the senses. And then after that Vidura came, luckily this time Dhritarashtra could understand. And then he left with Vidura. And then he could he realized and he became self-realized in 5 days and burnt his body and he went back. Many people say to somewhere I heard I heard from Radha Maharaj saying that he attained Krishna. So so but the thing is that everybody who is not Krishna anybody who is not Krishna conscious cannot have equal vision, cannot see who is their friend, cannot see who is their enemy. Only they are only looking for the sense gratification. That is why the people cannot see things as it is. They cannot see who is their well-wisher or what is happening in this world. They think that this world is permanent, they are permanent. They think that their situations, if they are happy, they think that it will not end. If they are suffering, they think that it will not end. And in the suffering, they think that everything, their life is wasted, and they try to do all sorts of wrong things. And in happiness, they think that their life is successful, and they try to do all sorts of wrong things. So in this world, because it is covered with the illusion, and it is controlled by the three modes. In the three modes things as it is, and that is why it is very difficult for us to choose a good leader, and for someone who is on the lead to be as good as King Prutu or Yudhishthir Maharaj or anybody else. So what is our only hope? Just take shelter of Krishna. We cannot depend on anybody in this material world. We cannot depend on leaders who are not Krishna conscious. We cannot depend on our relatives, influential censors, who definitely trying to push us in the cycle of birth and death and trying to take us to hell. We cannot depend on our body. We cannot depend on anybody else, except we need to depend on Krishna and his devotees. And in the association of devotees, we should make our life successful. Whether government takes away our money and use gratification, we cannot help. But only one thing we can do, just take shelter of Krishna, and Krishna will not cheat anybody. Government can cheat, anyone can cheat, but except Krishna cannot cheat. So by this I want to end. If I've spoken anything wrong, please forgive me. If there are any corrections, you can always correct. Thank you so much, everybody. Hare Krishna. Any corrections, Guruji? Do you want anybody have anything on Zoom? If nobody have anything, then we'll end here. Thank you so much. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः कोटि वैष्णव की जय शिल प्रभुपाद की जय. I'm ending now. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.